Hey there, thanks for checking out this video from NetPicks again. And today I'm going to talk about my favorite day trading pattern. And let's be honest, there's a lot of arguments for and against using a chart pattern in trading. So the biggest one that I've always heard is how subjective they can be. And I'll be honest with you, I totally agree with that. You look at chart patterns, they come in a lot of different shapes, but there's only one that I and so many others have found to really stand the test of time. And not only does it function well for day trading, but also swing traders and position traders can find it valuable as well. So in fact, you can actually design an entire group of strategies around this one trading pattern. And what is it? It's pullbacks. It's a simple pattern. And we actually find it in the normal evolution of price. So a more precise description, as opposed to saying you're trading pullbacks, is you're trading the reversal out of a pullback. So why should that work? Well, here is generally how price moves in an uptrend. When we have a strong trend, we expect to see price breaking the previous highs and continuing to advance. And we can expect it to do that until it no longer does. So the failure of price to advance is something that we can use to determine if a pullback is even worth looking at to trade. So let's be honest, is there some discretion involved? Yeah, there can be. But you can also make your entire strategy based on rules, and that'll help you avoid any bias that might crop up. So here, these pullbacks, these are actually just in seconds I picked them out. Just by looking at real price declines and lower highs and lower lows with individual candlesticks. And those horizontal lines, they're just simple previous swing highs and swing lows, or just a sideways consolidation. So why did I use the horizontal lines? Well, if we remember that first image, if lows start to break down, we can easily see that pattern of higher highs and higher lows is breaking down. So if a pullback starts to break those areas, you may want to skip that pullback. So now would be a really good time to talk about some type of guideline to trading pullbacks for both day trading and swing trading. So if we're trading a market that's moving up, we want to see swing highs being taken out, period. And so we can use an overbought or oversold type of indicator, but using price is just an easier way to determine if a swing is worth trading. So let's make it a rule. Rule number one, price must break a previous swing high to set up looking for a pullback. Now you can adjust that rule to say a break and a close, or a break and a close 3 times above the swing high, right? It's up to you. This is a 15-minute stock chart. Price had broken the first swing high. So this sets up the stage to start looking for any decline in price that we could trade. So each of these pullbacks saw price break the previous swing high, making them official pullbacks for a strategy. But now we need a second rule, drawing our lines. So the lines for the pullback, they're not only a visual cue, but they can also be used to determine an entry price. In a perfect world, we would see each candlestick's high. We could use that. We would have multiple candles to use. It would certainly make drawing them just a little easier. And there are several ways you could draw a trend line that makes sense to you. Remember, the lines are not the pullback, okay? They're just a visual cue. So we look at our last chart. I just simply had the line touching as many candles as I could without regard to the high of the candle. It would have been very difficult to draw that. So since I was using a 15-minute chart, in this next example, I'm going to drop to a 5-minute chart to be a little bit more precise in how I draw the lines. Does it make a difference? Not really. Not many reasons to make things more complex than they have to be. Simply draw the lines to touch as many candles as possible, because we're not actually trading the lines, we are just trading price. Rule number 3, we want to trade pullbacks that respect the general direction of price. So what this really means is if we're looking to buy, we need to see a market making new swing highs, new swing lows. So if a price breaks down below the previous swing high, now that's not a guarantee of a trend failure, and it's actually quite common to see that happen. but it does present us with a little bit of a hurdle. Now we've got to trade through potential resistance. So when we see price violating support, we kind of expect it. But at the same time, we would expect price to start rejecting lower prices pretty quickly and begin to rise up. This just shows the failure of price to advance. Furthermore, that second violation with the big red momentum candlestick, that should be a warning sign to stay away from this chart. Because strong momentum in the decline phase, or the rally phase if you're looking to short, that's a red flag. Stay away, right? Because the current direction of price could be in jeopardy. So that would bring us to rule number 4. Let's use an entry trigger. So now you've got your pullback. You want to trade it, right? We follow the rules. Now we got to decide how we're going to enter it. Let's look at 3 simple ways you can enter a trade that shows that price is, at least in the short term, looking to resume the upwards move for a buy. We can look at the breakout of previous candles. We can look at lower time frames, ranges, the breakouts of those. We can even use a moving average cross. So let's look at breakouts first of the previous candles. So this is going to tie in with breaking out over the line that you've drawn. Okay, so this is another reason why it's important to have some consistency when you draw your lines. Because the reason we're going to require a break of the line for this entry is we want to ensure that the rhythm of the market has changed from a decline phase to advancing up. So if we just use a break of a candle high for longs, we actually might be trading inside of that pullback. Is there an edge to it? Maybe. But you do want to have odds in your favor, so requiring a new high plus a break of rhythm could do just that. Lower time frame range breakouts. This is multiple time frame trading. All we're looking for is the pullback to happen. We're looking for a lower time frame to show some sort of basing, some sort of range. We can trade a breakout of the high of the base. That's the entry. A general rule of thumb when you're looking at time frames is to use 3 to 5 times lower than your trading time frame. For example, if I'm trading a 60-minute chart, I want to use a 15-minute chart to look for my entry. If you want to trade daily charts, look for a 1-hour entry. That's for stocks. The trend line here is drawn on the higher time frame chart. Okay, so you would then go to your lower time frame, find your trading range. You buy a break and a close above the resistance zone of that range. That's the general approach. Moving average trigger. This is going to be simple. That's a break above and a close above for a buy using a 5 EMA after we see price pull back below the average. So here price had a nice pullback completely below the moving average, right? At least one candle's below the average. So once price breaks above and closes above the average, you can use a buy stop above the high. You can enter at the candle close. One of those is going to suit you better than the other one will. Depends on your trading style. But now we're in a trade. Now we have to manage a trade. So one truth about pullbacks is you're actually entering below the potential resistance, right? The previous swing high could be resisting further price move. So that would mean that the previous swing level can give you an objective location to either take your profits, adjust your stops, scale out of your position. So in this example here, number 1 and 2, they're the swing high levels that we have to be concerned with. So there's no right or wrong answer to what you're going to do at these levels. Okay, it all comes down to each trader and their comfort level when they see price stalling and failing to advance. Some traders freak out and exit. Some will respect their initial stop. But one thing to consider is that since price action has come back to the swing high, so far the trade's a success. So going to break even while still allowing the trade to develop, it's not a bad idea. Now we need to place a stop, right? We need a stop loss. And there's so many different methods to placing the stop. But let's consider that pullbacks are actually moving down or up, depends, in a diagonal direction. So this is one reason I like the lower time frame entry, because I get price structure right below the support level of that small range to place my stop. So consider using the average true range from the high of the entry candle and include a multiple of the ATR. So here, a buy stop at the high of the candle that broke and closed above the average has the arrow. We take the ATR reading at that candle, we multiply it by 2, subtract from the high of the candle. That will give us the red line as our stop loss. It's pretty straightforward. And the reason the pullback is my favorite pattern is because it's derived from the natural movement of price. The tricky part is actually the trade entry. And that's why you should experiment with different entry triggers that's going to suit you. For me, I like the lower time frame entry. And my second approach is the break of the moving average. It's nice and simple. It's objective. And all of what we just talked about, just reverse it for shorts. That's it. Thanks for watching. Any questions, comments, put them below. Make sure you like this video, subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.